Hey everyone, welcome to the Oasis Podcast. I'm your host, Miss Aay Jay. Thanks for tuning in. An oasis is something that provides refuge, relief, or pleasant contrast, and that is exactly what you can find tuning into the Oasis Podcast. This will be a space where I and special guests will be cultivating intentional and honest conversations about life's journey. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. Also follow us on Instagram at the Oasis Podcast. That's TheOasis Podcast. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I am super excited to finally be recording my first podcast episode on this very snowy Brooklyn afternoon. But I hope you all are inside and warm and doing what you need to do. So who am I and why am I doing this podcast? Well, I am Miss Aay Jay. I am a 30-something-year-old Brooklyn native, and I've been really wanting to do a podcast for about a year now. And I wanted to actually do it with one of my very favorite people, and I was kind of waiting on getting that done with him, but life happens and we weren't able to do it together. However, he will be a guest on my show, so definitely look out for him. He's super intelligent. I love our conversations, and I wanted to bring those conversations to the community, to just people outside of our circle, because I felt that they could really take away some really amazing gems from our conversations, and they definitely will be able to in other episodes, but I wanted to get something started as soon as possible. I know for myself, I like to describe myself as an outgoing introvert, and I, of course, like many others, I have so many of these experiences in life, dating, just dealing with family, colleagues, just figuring out who you are, where you are, why you are. And I wanted to have a space where, to be able to heal in community, right? To be able to discuss certain things and address certain things, and just get certain things off your chest, even if that's all you want to do. And hence why I wanted to start this podcast, and I decided to just jump in and do it instead of waiting another year because of fear, because this is totally scary. And I commend everybody who's doing a podcast. I listen to a ton of them, amazing people, with great information. And now I see how difficult it actually is to really get started and kind of battling yourself, figuring out how to just even get things going is really difficult. But I am still so excited to be doing this. And I really look forward to the type of conversations that I'll be having in the future to share with you all. And looking forward to the questions that you all have and the comments that you all have on the subject matters that we'll be touching on. So a little bit on who I am. So again, I'm 30-something. And of course, I'm a Brooklyn native, born and raised. I do mental health related work in schools as well as in the community with youth and their families. I hold a graduate degree in public health. I've done everything from teaching sex ed, HIV prevention with high school youth, to working in an inpatient adolescent unit in a hospital, to doing LGBTQ advocacy work for youth, to now working in schools. So I see quite a few things, have my opinion on quite a few things. I am single, so I'm also navigating that world, but also trying to figure out kind of where I'm going next. Had quite an interesting 2018, and I am looking to see what 2019 is holding in store for me. I can't say I'm very excited about that, but I am, but I'm not, I guess you can say. Definitely have a different perspective on life and things moving forward. I'm definitely doing all the things that I enjoy now, as opposed to just waiting on things to happen to me. I'm creating those spaces and things. So hopefully we have a lot to talk about in regards to that, because I know y'all going through it too, and I know y'all dealing with it as well. So I know Valentine's Day just happens, and oh wait, what was it called? The single version, Galentine's Day, where you spend it with your girlfriends. And I don't know, even when I've been with someone, I usually always spend it with my family, like somehow, some way, regardless if myself, my sister, or my cousin were in a relationship or not. We always let our partners know, yeah, we're going to be with our family and we'll see you some other day or something. And we would just hang out and cook or go somewhere and just spend time with each other on that day. So I guess Valentine's Day is just not so much a regular day, but it's a day that we explicitly make sure to hang out with those that we really care about, and not necessarily a partner, if that makes any sense. So this Valentine's Day was no different. I mean, maybe it was a little different because I honestly did spend the time with, my cousin, but also made sure to really show myself a lot of self-love and self-care, because we're going to get into this another time, but this whole month of February and January as well, most of January and February, I feel like I'm purging myself of this very short-lived encounter that I had with someone. And so I feel like I'm purging that toxic feeling that they left. It's just toxic energy. So I felt like I really needed to love up on myself, and that's what I decided to do, starting, Valentine's Day and ending Sunday night. And it was great. Like, I had such a great time. Like, my cousin and I, we went to dinner. Of course, we got dressed up, did makeup, hair, everything. We went, listen, okay? And it was so nice too, because we took an Uber or a Lyft. It was a Lyft. Got to the restaurant. He opened the doors for us, like the driver, I'm telling you. So he earned that tip. He opened the doors for us to get in. He opened the doors for us to get out. It just felt so nice, and it kind of fed into kind of the mood we were in. Went to one of our favorite Thai places. And we ate, we drank, and afterwards we went to this singles Valentine's Day party. And again, I'm not usually like the type, I don't really like doing those things. I force myself to do them because you can't meet no man on your couch. So I had to force my cousin too, because we both single. So it was like, oh, let's do it. And it was free, so I was like, why not? So we went there, and we were just in a good mood. Like, we didn't even care. It was really just, at least for me, I was just listening to the music, and just vibing, and it just felt good. My cousin did meet a young gentleman there, and I introduced myself to someone as well. And then we kind of hung out a little while, I mean, people did try to approach us and such. But we hung out, and then once we were done with that, we went home. But we talked, and what was important is, like, we really talked and just kind of picked each other's brains, and that's what we really like, just talking about where we are emotionally and mentally in regards to dating, in regards to sharing our our energy and our space with someone else. And I think that's what's important. I think a lot of times we kind of just hold stuff in. We don't really talk to people, whether we feel sad or ashamed or whatever the feeling is. And I know that's something I'm working on, because it's not really healthy to hold that stuff in. So I like to use those times to be really vulnerable. And that's another thing I'm learning to do, is be vulnerable with myself and with others, without that fear that someone's going to use it against me, And so far, I feel like it's been fruitful for the most part, I can't really complain about it going left or anything. But to continue my self-love, self-care, kind of few days. So Friday night, we went to, my cousin and I, and actually one of my colleagues / girlfriends, we ended up going to the ladies night concert at the Barclays, which was amazing. We all sat in different spaces because we bought our tickets at different times, but had so much fun. The music was on point. I love R&B. So who was there? It was Faith Evans. It was Brian McKnight, Mario, John B, Little Kim. I know I'm missing people, but it was such a great show. And it just so happened. Oh, K Michelle was there as well. So K Michelle is talking about being a Leo. Shout out to my Leos. And she made a comment talking about Leos, saying, we petty. And then I started laughing, and the girl next to me was laughing as well, right? But we kind of did a little shout out at the same time, like, yeah, Leos. And so we look at each other and we're like, you a Leo? She goes, yeah. And she goes, when your birthday? And I told her my birthday is. And then she goes, that's my birthday too. And it's so funny because at the same time, we both put our hands up. We both give each other a high five and go, birthday twins. It was just amazing. Like, just the love that was, so I was surrounded by couples. That's one. As opposed to, I think to my left was like a group of girls. But then in front of me was a couple. Behind me was a couple. To the right of me was a couple. But I didn't feel any way about that. Like, I thought it was beautiful, like seeing the Black love. You know what I mean? I thought it was just amazing. They were just enjoying the music, enjoying each other. And I had such a great time singing off key to all the music, forgetting words and stuff, but just feeling the music and just being so grateful and blessed that I could even experience something like that, because I love concerts. Music does something to my soul. And so anytime I'm in that space, I always go back to when I was a kid, and I never imagined being able to do something like that. And so the fact that I can do things like that for myself, it just makes me feel so blissful. And that's what kind of I pull from it. I don't feel sad because I'm not with a dude or whatever. Like, doesn't matter. That part that really does not bother me at all. But it was such a great time. Music was awesome. So my cousin and I are texting each other throughout this show, like, oh, look at this person, that person. Oh my God, they're so good. Oh my God, they sound so great. And it did. It felt so good. So that was Friday. Got home and oh my God, so late. But I told myself I was gonna go to my workout class. So big ups to Shape Up NYC, y'all. So those are free workout classes. So if you guys are looking to really start those resolutions, though it's February, right? But you don't want to come out your pocket. Like, there's tons of free classes being offered in your community. You can go to the website. I can't remember the name of the website exactly, but Google Shape Up NYC, and you can put in your zip code, and you can find local classes. And so I found 2 of them. One is on a Thursday night, one's on a Saturday. So the Saturday class is like a family fitness class. You would think that would be easy, right? Child plays. This instructor, honey, she goes in, all right? She's a dance teacher by day, so you already know how that go. And so I told myself I'm going to this class. Like, I don't care how late, I came home, because that's part of my self-care, is making sure, I take care of my physical self. So I got up exhausted, walked into the class, like, look, sis, I had a late night. I'm tired, but I'm gonna try to keep up. And she was like, all right, girl, I got you. But it was a great class. I kept up, surprisingly so. I was shocked, honestly. But class was amazing, was awesome. And then I spent like the next few hours at my mom's, because what was I doing on Sunday? Oh, Sunday I had a jam-packed day. I usually spend it Sundays with my mom, but I decided to do it on Saturdays. So spent some time with her, being her personal secretary. And we'll talk about Caribbean parents in another episode. But did that, and just after that went home. You would think I would relax. I didn't. I did my laundry and stuff because I wanted to kind of handle all that stuff before Sunday, because I knew I was going to be out again really late. And Monday, though I was off, I had some other things to handle. So did some laundry, went to bed later than I wanted to. And then Sunday had another jam-packed self-love day. So I went to the spa. And that's something I encourage, but put money out of every check or budget it out every other month to go get yourself a nice little facial, a full body massage. Let me tell you that it's needed, right? So I did that. My cousin and I went to do that, which is something that's pretty regular for us. We usually do facials regularly, but I kind of worked in a full body massage because I needed that. And so did that. Then we went to brunch and we met up with one of her friends. And we went to brunch at Sweet Chick, which is my cousin's favorite place. She loves their waffles, chicken waffles. But we decided to try something different. There's shrimp and grits. And I had a red velvet waffle, which was really good. I never had that particular one. And the shrimp and grits was good too. It's the first time I've had it with, I guess, that tomato paste kind of sauce. Every time I've had shrimp and grits, it's always been, white. And for whatever reason, I guess for how they make it. But this was pretty good. Like, I had no real complaints about it at all. The waffle was really good. So we did that. And then we ended up going to Playtime's game night, like a blackout affair or something like that, which I attend their events before, which is always a good time. Just adult folk out here just playing games and just tapping into our inner child, which is fun. Ended up meeting up with two my homegirls slash colleagues, and we played bowling, and we just out here drinking, partying. I was so partying, but like dancing and just, socializing. And we played Jenga. Like, it was fun, like nice, clean fun. You wasn't being hounded by anybody, but people just out just really just enjoying themselves, being all magically beautiful and black, which is always so nice to see. And then after that, took her behind home, and it was such a great weekend. Oh, and then I cannot forget that I bought myself some shoes. Bought myself a pair of nice black booties to replace a pair that I had previously that kind of got worn out. But then these beautiful like camouflage sneakers, like with the forest green. I bought both of them from Shoe Dazzle. Oh my gosh, I love these freaking sneakers. Like, they look so nice. And these shoes, I can't wait to dress up and wear them. But that was my weekend, and it was just such a great time. I felt so good, and I think that from the energy that I just gained from that weekend really pushed me to say, you know what, let's do this podcast. Like, let's get this thing out, at least get an episode out there to share with everybody, especially sharing this experience. And just I spent a good amount of money on myself, but then again, if you don't do it, who's gonna do it for you, right? Like, I mean, I budget all this stuff, and we can always talk about budgeting another episode, but I got it. I work hard. I literally work 2 jobs, as well as trying to do my own little side business. So it's like, you gotta live. You gotta take care of yourself, and no one can take care of you better than you can. And so I strongly encourage, if you're feeling down, you're feeling drained, things may not be going how you may want them to go, whatever the feeling is, take a day or two if you can, and really just do the things you enjoy, whether that's like getting your feet done or getting your nails done, getting your hair done. And if you do it yourself, but taking that time out to not only give yourself self-care but self-love. And I think it's that there's a difference, really just loving yourself for where you are in life, appreciating how you look, your flaws and all, appreciating and enjoying your own company, and in that time doing the self-care, actually caring for yourself, you know what I mean? Like, doing the things that you enjoy, doing the things that just makes you feel better. And I strongly encourage that for everyone to do at least once a month. And sometimes that's hard to do, which I completely understand. We get so wrapped up in stuff, but definitely doing that. And maybe in a later episode we'll talk about some self-care tips that we can share. And also what's important is really surrounding yourself around people who feed you, you know what I mean, who pour into you and not taking away from you. And I've been so blessed these past few years, I would say about 3 years, to really be blessed with some dope ass people, like colleagues, friends, people who came from colleagues and now they're friends, people that you might have known maybe before as acquaintances, but then the relationship flourishes and now you guys are actual friends. And it's just, and even relationships with family, like, sometimes we have, them on your life, but you don't know them, and you get to a point in life, you get to a certain age, or you experience a particular thing, and it just brings you closer. And I've been so blessed to have that experience these past few years across the board with all of those things. And I feel amazing, like that I can, if I want to, I can have a meaningful conversation with a number of people. And, if certain people, if they don't see me or hear from me, they'll be like, hey, where you at? You know what I mean? And that is just like amazing, because I can't say that was something that I had 3.5 years ago. It was a lot of relationships, friendships, etc. People were just taking, and I was just so tired. I was so drained. But now I'm just in a different space. And it's not to say that I don't have my, my downs, because I do have my moments, because I do live alone and all that. And so a lot of burden is on me, and I have my moments of being, sad or lonely, bored even. I've been experiencing boredom on a different level myself. But just knowing that these people are there, just knowing I can call someone and just chat, just knowing, and that's my homeboy, who you guys will all meet eventually. And he's like my personal therapist. We joke about that as well. He's so intelligent, he's so insightful, he always has an ear to lend, and I try to be that for him as well. To just texting somebody like, girl, where's that tonight? Like, what's going on? And having the ability to do that, and either tagging along with them, or just like getting to some point, it's like, oh, go here, go there, and then finding a location to just relax and just just feel good. Or even having people that you can call over, you know what I mean, invite into your space. That's not going to drain your energy, you know what I mean, because I'm so protective of who I allow in my home, because it took me such a while to cleanse my space from previous experiences, and I am so protective of who I can let in. And just knowing that there's people I literally can, if I'm like, I like to travel as well, and so like I have a car, and so I can give my homeboy my keys to my house, to my car, and like not even bat an eyelash about anything. Like, to be able to trust somebody like that, that's not even your family, is amazing. And I would never have been able to really do something like that prior to these past few years, and that's great. Like, I mean, beyond great. So I really suggest, in kind of giving yourself that self-care and self-love, really look at your circle and assess the people you're spending time with. And if after you spend time with them you feel insecure, or you feel drained, or just you don't feel positive, I think you need to assess that and kind of remove that. Like, I honestly don't think I have encounters any longer with people, and I leave there feeling less beautiful or less myself. Like, I feel like in my circles, everybody's uniquely themselves, right? And that's the thing. Everyone is so confident in who they are, and that makes you confident in who you are. You know what I mean? No one's looking at you on some, oh, girl, this. No, it's like, girl, your hair cute. Girl, your outfit is everything. Or girl, this, like, and it's not fake. You know what I mean? Where before I've encountered it, it was fake, and people really like, they don't really mean what they're saying. They're just saying it to say it. Where now it's like, if they're saying it, they mean it, right? Because they're just the type of people, like, if they ain't got nothing good to say, they just ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if they're saying something, they mean it. And that's the type of people I love being around me. Like, I want you to be real, and I know when I'm being real that it's being respected and it's being regarded, and they're just not trying to sit in negativity. So shout outs to those people, my tribe. I am happy for the people that I do have. I do want to grow my circle, because again, circle is small, and I do want to foster more relationships, and sisterhood, especially, because I just want to. Like, I've never been a person who had a lot of friends. Like, I've always had one or two main people. They had a lot of friends, and I would hang out with them. But now, it's not to say I want a lot of friends, but I just want more, people from different walks of life, people with different experiences, because I feel like that's how I'm going to just learn more about myself, and so I actually joined this app that was actually suggested from another podcast that I listened to, Selfish Bays, and which is a great podcast. Those of you, and it's an app too, so definitely download that app. And in that podcast, she talks about an app called Hey Venus. So I joined it, and it's literally the app for women who want to connect with other women, right? You choose your interests, and people put up posts like, hey, let's go grab a drink, or hey, let's plan a trip, or hey, like just random things. And so far it's been really positive. Like I'm in a group chat with a whole bunch of women who want to take a trip, and that's something that I love to do. I love traveling, but my issue is always like I can't find people to travel with. So instead of getting mad at it, which I used to do, I just be like, all right, I'm just going to find a different way. I'm going to travel by myself. I'm going to find women who are willing to travel. And that's what I ended up doing. So crossing my fingers. Hopefully things work out well. But definitely doing that. And so that's all part of my self-care and my self-love. Not getting upset that people have their own lives and can't do stuff with me or for me. Like, we're too old for that. So now I just go out there and do what I gotta do for myself, and it feels good. Like the gratification that you get from it is amazing. Can it be tiring at times, always doing for yourself? Of course, but this is when you need to, like, I guess, learn to be vulnerable and lean on someone when you need help. And I have that one person, but I also don't like being a burden, even though he tells me I'm not all the time, but on anybody, like. And so I always try to make sure to be an ear, just like they're an ear for me. But also try to figure things out on my own before I bring it to someone else. And so they'll know, like, if I bring it to them, that it's something I couldn't figure out or something I just need to get out. But I'm grateful that I'm able to do that. So definitely assess the circles to make sure no one is draining you of your energies, but also kind of every month or every other month trying to take a weekend, a day or two, and doing some self-care and some self-love for yourself. It's so needed. You'll feel so revitalized, and yeah, like I strongly encourage doing that. For every episode, I'd like to have a what's new, what's happening segment that kind of talks about what's going on in the world or just in life. And to wrap up the podcast, I like to have the action corner where I'll share positive affirmations or just an applicable meme, and that could be something that's funny, something that makes you think or something like that. And for today's what's new, did y'all hear about the new law? New York just passed preventing hair discrimination. So I received this article. I get emails from Essence magazine, and I got this yesterday in my inbox, and it reads, New York City cracks down on hair discrimination with new law. New York City is putting an end to hair prejudice in an unprecedented new law. According to the New York Times, the new guidelines released by the New York Commission on Human Rights deems the targeting of people based on their hair or hairstyle racial discrimination. Although all races are protected, the language used in the law suggests the aim is to thwart prejudice against Black people, distinctly declaring the right of New Yorkers to wear their, and quote, natural hair, treated or untreated hairstyles such as locks, cornrows, twists, braids, bantu knots, fades, afros, and or the right to keep hair in an uncut or untrimmed state. Violators of the law will face penalties up to $250,000 with no cap on damages. The commission can also enforce internal policy changes and rehirings to companies who are found guilty of harassing, threatening, punishing, firing, or demoting employees based on their hair. Now, can I get a okay? Like, okay. As a woman who has locks, just natural hair in general, I've had natural hair most of my life, not all of it. At one point for quite a few years I did perm my hair and all that, but I've always felt sensitive about, going to a job interview or in certain settings with my natural hair out. And again, that's a whole nother conversation in itself, but we can talk about that some other time. But I've always felt, at least let me not say always, because that mindset did change for me again a few years ago, and I became just more confident in myself. But I was always like, and I, honestly, it was pushed on me from just like my mom and stuff too, like, oh, that's not presentable, you have to look more presentable when you're going, for a job interview or going to certain establishments. So so when I would go to interviews and things like that, don't my hair be natural, honey, slapping on a wig, you know what I'm saying? Or getting my hair done in a particular way, styled in a particular way just for the interview, so that, they can't see all these kinks, you know what I mean? Even when I started growing up my locks, like I did the same thing. I would wear wigs on top of it. And but trust and believe, after I got that job, you was seeing these locks, okay? But was it these past few years, honey? I didn't care. These locks been swinging. Hey, how y'all doing? You gonna take it or leave it? And either way, I was gonna be fine. But I'm so happy that, as I've heard so much stuff going on in the news with kids in schools, being kicked out or having to be forced to cut their hair, like that is just mind-blowing. But we all know who they targeting with that, us black folk. And I'm happy now that there's an actual official law. Now we all know laws, they got to get enforced, right? And who's going to be overseeing it for real. But at least it's good to have something in black and white. And so I'm happy about that. Spread the word. Please share this information so we can just wear our crowns as proud as we want to, whichever way we want to. And that goes for men and for women, because I see this natural hair movement has moved past us women and it's gone to our men. And I say, go for it. You want to grow your hair out, boo-boo? Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? You want to just let your hair be, just let it be. Like, not always feeling like you have to cut it so you be presentable, so you can be taken seriously. So just because your hair looks away doesn't mean that you're not intelligent, that you don't have anything to provide. So I'm happy about this. I'm super excited about this, and I definitely encourage you all to share this information with your circle. So while I was laying in bed trying to debate whether or not I was going to actually record this podcast, the world and universe has a way of throwing things right at you when you need to hear them. So while I was scrolling through Instagram, and this particular meme, this particular positive affirmation that's going to be shared today in our connection corner comes from Black City Girl _ and it reads, sis, trust the timing of your life. You are exactly where you need to be. Take one step to discover what you love to do. Express yourself. You are most attractive in the midst of expressing how God made you. Is that not applicable or what? Like, okay, can you hear it? Thank you, loves. See you next time. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Oasis Podcast. I hope you were able to find something that resonated with you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and like us on Instagram at the Oasis Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, direct message us on Instagram or email us at aayjaysoasis@gmail.com. Again, that's aayjaysoasis@gmail.com.